points for you. But first, I hope everyone had good weather wherever they are. We're definitely in a good stretch here right now, and I think even Fred left Canada and went down to Satellite Beach in Florida to get to get into some warmer weather. So, but yeah, we're going to be in the 90s this week here, so it's beach weather, full blown beach weather now. So if you're looking to get out of the cold, just head to Florida. It's not a bad place to hang. But anyway, we had a great weekend. I hope you did too. First thing I want to mention to you, I know a lot of us were in Nashville a month ago. Okay, it was the 14, 15, 16 of last month. And if you have a team or had a team, you got a bump in volume, okay, because we introduced a new product and the new skincare line. And something April and I have learned to be prepared for is when I mean a bump, you saw volume that isn't normally there during the conference that popped up because there was a brand new product line introduced with the new True Science skincare line and the sunscreen. So we always look at that when the next month is coming, knowing we need to be ahead of that volume before it comes in, because it doesn't mean everybody put that on subscription. Now, for a new product, people generally buy it the first time and then see how long it takes to use it. And then we'll put it on a subscription, whether it's monthly or by every other month or quarterly or whatever it is they do. Okay. So we don't like, and you shouldn't like it either, looking at the 14th of March and looking at the 14th of April and seeing your numbers down in April versus March. So we always try and ramp up the activity and make up for it. Okay. And, congrats to all of you, because last month, as many of you know, it was a record month for our team. It was a good month for the company, but it was a record month for our team for overall volume, for rank advancements, and also the big one is for enrollments. Okay. So we pay attention to this because the month can get away from you very quickly, really fast. And you've heard me say this a lot. The way that you set yourself up to have a good month is to get started fast early in the month, to get people enrolled early in the month, to get your teammates enrolling people early in the month. That is how you get a grip on it. And you say, well, what difference does it make if they do it early in the month or later in the month? Well, if you do it later in the month, you don't have as much to work with. You don't have as much to run with. You don't have as many people trying to reach Onyx or Emerald or Sapphire or Diamond, or trying to make, consultant 1 or 2 or 3 or SC 1, 2, 3. You don't have as many people running. So that's why the beginning of the month is so important. We got a person started just 10 days ago, that just started with a small pack, and she's like an esthetician person, does the body sculpting stuff, and she's already on the fast track. She's already earned money on fast track. She's already at 1,300 points with like 6 or 7 customers in just 10 days. And we have the good fortune of her living real close to us, where April's doing some hand-holding. Okay. And I wish everybody, would hand-hold a new person when you get them started and they live near you. Okay. It's not always possible because this business, people just sign in and sign up from wherever they are, and it could be anywhere in the world. We had another guy sign up over in Amsterdam that saw my before and after picture and enrolled. And so we've had a very busy month with new people getting involved. But what I want you to do is look at where your numbers were on the 14th of last month. Okay. And then the 15th and 16th, because that was the Thursday, Friday, Saturday in Nashville. That's when the store was open. That is when people were able to start ordering online. And most of the business was done Thursday and Friday because they had pretty much sold out on Saturday and they'd closed the store at around lunchtime. Okay. So, and then tomorrow is the 15th. So tomorrow is the third of 5 subscription dates, that we have each month. And it's really important. If you don't have an Excel sheet or some way that you're tracking business from month to month, just set one up. If you don't know where you are, how can you adjust your activity to either stay on pace or to get ahead? How do you know? Okay. So a lot of that is now in the back office, honestly, but it doesn't show you day to day. It shows you month to the day, but it doesn't show you day to day. Okay. So, but a lot of that is in the back office now. If you were frustrated, the back office has been in the works for a year now. April and I are on the committee for fixing it. And we've been working real hard with Sean Poe and Brandon and Shauna Mucklow and some of those people to get it fixed. A lot of what needed to be done has been done. Okay. And there's a lot of real good information. The trackers are working great. If you're looking to track points for a trip, if you're looking to track your to be on track, to get a track or 2 or 3, all of that stuff is working great now. Okay. So that if you haven't used it, if you haven't looked at it, if it frustrated you 8, 9, 10 months ago, give it a fresh look now because it's completely different and it's much more functional than it was before. But anyway, with that, first thing I want to do is just remind you, I'm going to share my screen for a second. You've heard us talk about this many times, and the most important skill that you can have in this business, number one skill, is learning how to invite. Okay. And inviting for, events. And when I mean invite, I mean doing it right. Okay. Inviting with heart, inviting with passion, inviting with dialogue that has gone back and forth. I'm not talking about spamming, an email list or spamming. And again, there's nothing wrong with sharing the information with an email list or putting it on stories or on Facebook or, sending it out to people in Messenger. There's nothing wrong with letting people know what's going on, but you shouldn't expect not one of those people to show up and watch it unless you have been conversing with them back and forth and you get a clear cut, I will be there. So, posting it, there's no bad or downside to posting it, but you're only going to get eyeballs on it when you're conversing back and forth. And that is where the separation is. That you heard, April and I in Nashville, we talked about how you have to be willing to go through the storm so you can experience the magic and the good stuff that a business like this gives you. And the storm that we're talking about in this case is getting over the laziness that we have, getting over the fear that we have, getting over the anxiety that we have, where we think we can just text something or email something or send something without dialoguing back and forth with the person. And look, the dialogue can be on Messenger. It doesn't necessarily need to be by phone, although phone is still the best. Okay. If you're going back and forth on Messenger or text or whatever, and they're excited, but here's the key, folks. You need to have the desire to do this and get good at it, because it's the only thing that your sponsor, your upline, your sideline, it's the only thing that we can't help with. We just can't. There's nothing we can do to get you to go into your telephone or your Facebook list or your messenger list and start conversing with the people that you know or the people that you're at least friends with. There's nothing we can do about that. So you have to have a burning desire to want to be really, really, really good at that. Okay. Well, what makes you good at it? Sincere energy, sincere enthusiasm, sincere excitement, being willing to follow up a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth time, with a person. And I'm telling you that is the difference in it. And here's what happens. And I've heard this for over 30 years when I overhear April on the phone. She never lets go of a person until they absolutely say, no, I have no interest whatsoever, nor will I have any interest in the future. Well, guess what? I don't know that she's ever heard that one time. I don't think anybody has ever said that to her. She just keeps coming back. But here's what I've heard hundreds of times. I so appreciate the consistency that you've shown over the years to keep me informed on what's going on. And you keep reaching out and you keep touching. And then before you know it, there's a product that makes sense to them, or the timing for the opportunity is now right. So I hear people thanking her hundreds of times over the years, but not one time has someone ever said just, hey, go away, I'm not interested. Now, they may ghost her. They may stop returning messages. We all experience all those kind of things, and that's nothing personal. That just means they either didn't want to hurt your feelings or didn't have the courage to say, I'm not interested. And we get insulted over being ghosted. It's like, pray for them, man. It just means they didn't have the courage to say the timing's not good for me at this moment. And they chose to ignore messages. There's nothing to get mad about, and there's nothing to get insulted about. It's just business. It's just communication, there's nothing. So 1 week from tomorrow is our live launch opportunity Zoom. Okay, so as the week's going by, you should be building up momentum, building up your list, okay, of people that have said that they're gonna be on. April, did the screen disappear?
It's totally black.
Someone just tried to spam me. Let me just see if I can get it back. The people still seem to be there. So let me.
Yeah, well, the people are here. It's just, we just have a black screen.
Okay.
There we
so
go.
I see the
Okay.
people now. I'm sorry. I just got like a spam message coming in, folks. Let me just go back to that and see if I can get it back. But it doesn't matter even if I can't get it back. I said what I had to say about that. Let's see. No, that is weird.
Okay.
Okay, so a week from tomorrow, we have our opportunity Zoom. And I said, there's nothing we can do to help you with that. You have to be willing to invite people on. Now, once they're on, and I have all the recordings from the very first one we did, and I'm going to tell you, nobody watches the recordings. Okay, they just don't. There's too many live events going on every single day that nobody goes back to an old recording. So that is just an excuse that either you use, I use, or we use that, well, let me just send them the recording. They're never going to watch it. Okay, so what do? You want to get them on live. Okay, now I'm old enough where there was a TV show that I remember called The Hollywood Squares. Some of you may remember it, okay? Some of you may not. You may be too young, okay? But the screen on Zoom here reminds me of the Hollywood Squares, okay? Where people were comedians for the most part, were getting asked questions and being wise guys with their answers, okay? That's kind of what it was about. But what do you think would have more value? Somebody being on the screen like we're looking at each other right now and being a part of the movie. They're in it. It's live. Okay. And they're watching it with you. Do you think there's a better chance of them being interested if they experience that? Or sometime they're going to find a half hour in the coming week to just sit down, put it on a big screen and watch it by themselves with nobody with them? Where do you think you're going to get the better results? So it's obvious that it's live, okay, but how do we get them to want to be on it live? Well, that's where you come in. That's where you got to be influential, okay? That's where you got to make it so important that, first of all, you never, ever tell anyone there's a recording. Never. You never, if they say, is it being, you just say, I have no idea if it's being recorded. I have no idea. So I'm not saying a lie. I'm just saying you have no idea. Don't answer the question. Just say, I don't have any idea. Because that is them having an excuse to get rid of you and get you off the phone or off the messenger or whatever it is. So if they're asking that, now, I'm not saying some people don't have something that's going on at that period of time. I'm not saying that, okay? But I'm saying this. If you make it important enough and you're influential enough and you're excited enough, they'll make adjustments to see it, even if they have to watch it from their phone in their car while they're watching their kid play soccer or baseball or something. It's a matter of making it important enough. And here's, if somebody told you, if you were on early, you heard Ira and I going back and forth, we're New York sports fans and our teams have just been kicking ass all year, okay? And we're excited about it, okay? Because playoffs are now. So if I had something to do one night, let's say I was doing my normal pickleball one night and someone said, the Knicks are playing the Magic tonight, I got tickets, I know it's short notice. You probably had other plans. Do you want to go to the game and see it live? Well, I'm dropping everything that's going on and I'm going to the game. Okay. I'll call someone to fill in for me for pickleball, whatever it is, or I'll just bail out and, and whatever. But it was important enough for me to do. We need to do that with people. Okay. If you make it important enough, and we can't give them excuses, folks. We just can't, we can't do it. Let me share, I'm going to ask April to speak for a second. She did a sip and glow. And I heard, first of all, she was gone for like 4 hours and Jackie's house is 5 minutes away. Okay. So something told me that something good was going on when the house where the sip and glow was is 5 minutes from where we live. And April, tell them what happened with that. And because I know you want to encourage people to do them, to tell them what went on.
Yeah.
And this was what, a Friday night also, right?
It's a Friday night. Yeah. The skincare and the collagen, but the skincare has really been a game changer. And I hope you're using it. I hope you realize, I hope you're taking your pictures. Because we're doing 15 minutes. As soon as somebody comes in, we take their picture, we're putting the eye stuff on, the eye lift, and then taking their picture again, and then going back and forth in the pictures. And people are seeing a difference right away. We're putting on the hydrating cream and they're seeing a difference right away. And it's just, it's doing a few things. Bobby was talking about that one salon. A lot of times when people would get started, they'd say, oh, I want, particularly the collagen for some reason, and we needed to overcome this. They wanted to use the collagen for a month so they could have the before and after like us. But what I finally said to them, and that's what I said to the new girl that got started too, I was like, you bought because you saw my picture, you saw the pictures, that's why you bought it. Wouldn't that be the same for everybody else coming through here? If they saw the pictures, they would buy it because they saw the before and afters. So it's just speeding things up faster now because we're showing people those before and afters, if it's collagen or it's the skincare or whatever. And it's just making it, go faster. People are getting excited. I have to tell you, the before and afters were so incredible that night. And we had we had young girls there and we had some, older ladies too. And it was amazing. I was excited about the skincare when I came home. I mean, I was like, and I've been using it, but I was even more excited because I was seeing all these different results and stuff. So, we do have some really, really exciting products, especially, and when I talk to people from some other companies and stuff, a lot of those companies, they got some issues going on right now, and we really have our act together, so I'm so excited about that. With this launch coming up, it's a little early almost to invite people at this point. Ideally, we want to do 3 days out or so, which is if you wait till next Sunday, it's way too late. So start making your list. But I want to give you a clue to something that I heard, and this made total sense. So often when we look at people we want to invite those that are maybe like less close to us. We don't want to, invite the people that are closest to us. And what happens is when we do that, we have a lesser chance because we don't have any rapport, or we have little rapport or just less rapport than somebody that we're really close with. You have a much better chance of getting them on that Zoom. So, and I understand why we don't do it. It's if I don't know the person as well and they're more in my colder market, it hurts less. But you know what? This whole business is about learning to fail forward. And, I'm going to make fun of Bobby and I, you've heard all the pickleball stories, and it wouldn't be a pickleball story tonight if we didn't tell at least one a little bit about pickleball. But, we've been playing together. Oh, I don't know. Is it like 9 months now or so? I forget how long we've been
Yeah,
playing
it's
together.
10, 11
A year?
months, actually.
Yeah, it's 10, 11 months. Okay. So do you think that we had to learn how to play together? Who was going to get the ball in the middle? How to hit the ball? Bobby didn't even play tennis, so he had to learn how to hit the ball, had to learn to move on the court. And I'm a tennis player, and I'm like, well, that just made obvious sense to me, maybe not to him. And then we went through this other learning curve where anything that was without an arm's reach for him, he thought I should just get, so it's a learning curve after a while. You had to learn how to get better playing together. But isn't that this business? A lot of balls went by, he got hit. I don't know how many times Bobby's gotten hit. He's got welts all over his chest. So, and I was finally joking with some of the girls. I'm like, if you can't hit the line, just hit the guy, So if he can't move fast enough, hit him. But, we had so much fun with it. And yeah, we were playing sometimes, losing some games and stuff. We won, some tournaments and stuff. But it was a learning curve. And it's not really different than this. It's really tough, and it's really frustrating. Sometimes you go out there and you wonder why. And I'll give you another example, because he's my husband. Anybody else I'm on the court, I'm telling him your ball, short ball. I give a lot of direction. I do a lot of talking when I'm on the court with them. And I wasn't doing that with my own husband. And I'm just like, well, because it felt funny. I had to learn how to talk to him on the court the way I would talk to somebody else too. So there's so many things, but that's this business. You kind of almost fail forward. You learn to do things better. Maybe it didn't work this way, but maybe I'll say it this way. I know a lot of you, we've gone back and forth with some texting, and just tweaking some of these texts has made the response that much better, because we're all learning how to speak. You've heard me over time, for me originally, pretty much with our other company, we were doing a lot on the phone, before we even went to Zoom or anything, and now everything's a text. I mean, people don't even, you can call them and they let the phone ring. They don't even let it. It's like, and you probably do this with your own friends, you'll text somebody to say, is it all right if I give you a call now? It's, when you think about it, that is just totally dumb that we do that stuff, but that's what we do. This is the world we're living in. So most people, we will text before we even give them a call, but learning how to text to get the response you want is going to be important too. That's a skill. That's a skill we're all going through to get the right answer that we want from that text. So, again, don't be afraid to play around and stuff. There was something I heard really recently that we've never talked about. And I continue to do this, as Bobby said, with my follow-up. Even if you say, not right now, or I'm not interested, whatever, I continue to follow up. If you don't want to be weird with your friends and they said, no, I can't make the Zoom on that Monday night, or you know, it's not a good time for me now. Make sure you follow up with them 2 weeks later, just have a conversation. How you doing? No business, just have a conversation. Put it in your calendar for 2 months later. No business, just have a conversation. How's life going? How are the kids? What's ever going on? That way, when you go back to that person to go ahead and try to get them in the business, it's not weird. It's just another conversation. So you should be having lots of no nonsense conversations, and they only take a few minutes here or there with a lot of different people, because you never know. And this is what we get. A lot of times people reach out and they'll say, hey, are you still selling that stuff? Or are you still in that business? We get that a lot. The other thing we found too is with our stories, keeping those before and afters in the stories. You may be worn out looking at some of those before and afters. Go back a year and take those before and afters. Take some of the 15-minute before and afters. But I've had time and time again where a customer came off the product, maybe deemed it was too expensive or whatever was on, and I have a good before and after, particularly like the one with Bobby. Had a lot of them come scurrying back on. They were like, wow, wow, wow. And then we were talking earlier, they're all back on auto ship. So I mean, it's crazy what's going on, but some of this stuff we can't allow ourselves to get bored with as well. So keep your stories up there. Your stories are money. Things happen when we have our stories up there continually showing the before and afters. And it, to me, you can have product pictures, not product pictures. I don't really care about that, but those before and afters are money for us. And like I said, we really, when we think about all the different countries we have going on, all the people here in the United States, 330 million people, and we have nobody knows about us, but we are super, super exciting. So I wish you could have seen those before and afters at Jackie's. I wish you could have seen how excited. I mean, if you would have told me a year ago I would be sitting in somebody's house dipping creams on people's faces, I would have said absolutely not. But I tell you, it was a fun way to actually be doing business. And those ladies were so excited. We were having people signed up. Oh, the other thing I figured out to do to make things faster when I'm signing people up is I have everybody's ID number that is already a consultant at the party. So I have my list of consultants, their ID number, so I can go in and place orders for people super quick, because a lot of times these consultants, they don't remember their number, they don't remember this. So put them in your phone.
Or they're new and they haven't done it a lot.
Right. So, this way you can get through getting those orders. We got consultants, we got customers. We did really, really well. So that's what took so long, because, we were signing them up on the spot and seeing who they know. One of the girls is already going to do a party. So, fun stuff going on. So.
The one thing I was talking to April before we hopped on this Zoom, if you have not done a Sip and Glow in the last, since the new product came, the new skincare product, you need to do one in your own house and invite your own friends. And you don't need to be able to do a meeting. You just need to be able to put it on their face, hit the clock for 15 minutes, take a before picture before you put the cream on, look at the clock, wait 15 minutes, and then show them what it looks like again. And there's your meeting. Okay, everyone wants the perfect verbiage, the perfect slides, the perfect, and by the way, if you didn't see it, we have five or six different posters that we use in doctors' offices, in anestheticians' offices, and I put them in the Collagen Picks group. So if you want them, you can just take them, you can print them. Canva prints these days, you should always get 10, because they'll do 10 of them for $40. So they're like what is it, 10 for $4 a piece. They're 18 by 24, and Walmart carries ready-made poster frames for $12 for 18 by 24. So it's really easy to work with, but you need to book a Sip and Glow in your own house or in your neighbor's house, and just do it and invite 5, 6, 8, 10 people from the neighborhood, family, friends, church. You don't have to fill the house up with 20 or 30 people. 5 or 6 is great. Okay. And watch it grow from there. Watch it spread from there. I mean, we're getting excited about this. The business is growing faster than any time in the 6 years that we've been here. You know, the business is growing. Catalina's got some really good people on her team now that are kicking butt, and Kenneth and his team are kicking butt. And keep your before and afters up on stories. The new distributor I just got in Amsterdam saw my before and after, and honestly, I didn't know him. I knew the name because we were friends, and he might like or comment every once in a while, but I have 5,000 friends on there, so I don't know everybody. Okay, I accepted him whenever he wanted to be friends, but he was in the old company that we were in, but he was under the top earner in the world that lived over in the Netherlands. And so he knew who me and April were because we were always competing against Paul and L's were their name. We're always competing against them to be the top distributor. So they knew who we were, but we didn't know him. And he saw the before and after, and he was looking to change companies. Okay, he had been in another company for 5 years, and he was looking to switch. And, you know, so that stuff won't happen if you don't have it up. And it's free. Nowhere do we say spend any money. Okay, it's free advertising. Keep you before. Now, you obviously need to be using the product, or you can't do the before and afters. But you know, that's the thing. If you're not using it, then you can't do the before and after like I'm describing. But let's focus on you booking one for yourself, okay, in your own home, inviting 4 or 5 people over, and do that within the next 2 weeks. Do it before the month's over. Okay, you don't need a massive announcement. It doesn't work like that. It's something that you throw together quick, and you don't need to be feeding the neighborhood. Okay, you can put out some veggies, cheese, and dip, and you're good. Okay, if you like wine or whatever, then you can open a bottle of wine. But I'd say, you know, open some Axio. If they want to mix it in their vodka, fine. But you know, it's just have fun with it, folks. And it was funny. We were walking out of church this morning. April was at Jackie's house Friday, and we're walking out, and we have some of our new pickleball friends that we do tournaments with. It looks like they're joining our church. They've attended a few times, and they've gotten to meet the pastor and stuff. But Jackie and they met each other, and they've seen each other's before and after pictures before. And it's good local publicity that it happens in our church, okay? Because there are some high profile people there, including our pastor, and you got to just start planting those seeds where you live, folks. You got to start doing that, okay? And if you've never done one in your own house, it's time. Because how are you going to get anyone else to do one if you haven't done one? You know, this company is getting ready to explode. And there are areas that in this company that are already exploding. Okay, cities, states, organizations, and teams. It's just time that we do the basic stuff. And some of you knew us in the old company, and we had a product called Bioline. It was an ephedra product that was really good for fat burning and weight loss. And all we did was show before and after pictures. Here's the fat person, here's the not so fat person, and they just bought it. You know, it was that simple, and that's what's going on with the skincare. You don't have to know exactly how it works. You want to know how it works? You put it on around the eyes, you wait 15 minutes, and it works. Okay? You don't get scientific with this stuff. If they want to read up on it, give them the handout. You know, the PDF is there to be downloaded under every product on your website. You don't need to like get that from me or April. If you go on the website and you look at the eye serum, there's a PDF right there to be downloaded. If you want to have some of those available to hand out, it's right there on your website, and you can print it out. So let's start having fun with this. And let's get out of the closet, stop keeping it a secret, no more closeting, okay? Come out and let people know what we got, and let the pictures do the talking. Not you, not your mouth, not my mouth, okay? Let's let the pictures do the talking. And you'll be surprised. But here's a big advantage. You're going to get a lot more results if you are one of those before and afters versus just showing everyone else that you see on the screen. Now, there's nothing wrong with showing other people's before and afters, but something different happens when they see you in there. Okay, when you're one of the dozen that you show them, something different happens. Okay, it's part of going through that storm so you can get to the magic and the good stuff. And you need to be a part of the story. So if you're not using it, start today. Okay, if you don't have it, then order it today. But that is the key to making this work in the business. So I'm telling you, I didn't use skincare stuff. Come on, people, get real. Some of you know me a long time, okay? But when I started seeing what it did for April, I said, what the heck? Let me have some of yours. And she wouldn't give it to me. Okay. And I couldn't wait for them. Well, she said, I don't know how long I'm going to have to wait to get more. So she said, you can just order it when it comes out. And I'm like, gee, thanks, and I'm seeing all of these results. And I'm like, I got to slap this stuff on my face too, and then all of a sudden, that and being on the collagen for over a year and, let's have fun, folks. We need to have, we had some pickleball people. They're also new distributors in the business. We went out to some speakeasy last night in Orlando, had a freaking blast. Okay. And they had gambling there for charity where they were raising money for, some good causes in Orlando. But everything we're doing now, fun is part of the equation. Okay. I mean, the one lady that's a distributor now, she just says, hey, we're getting ready to do a cruise. You guys want to go to Europe? And this is April. April says, I'm so sick of Europe. I've been there a million times. How about Alaska? We can go see the animals and go see the Northern Lights. And she says, okay, I'll do that. And she's got a way of getting a discount on these cruises or whatever. And I don't know what a deal is, but I said, if you just let us know what it costs, we'll go. Okay, I don't want to do the research. You know what I mean? You just tell me what it costs, we'll go. But it's turning into fun with business, okay? And business with fun. And when that happens, folks, your business explodes, okay? Somewhere along the line, it needs to become personal. The real big businesses become personal. And personal, I mean, you develop relationships and friendships, and all of a sudden you find yourself hanging out with these people while you do business or not, inviting them to go to your church, inviting them to go out to some special event. All of a sudden you're finding yourself drawn to being around each other. And that's where the magic happens. And other people see the fun. They want to know what you have in common. And your prospect list grows and grows and grows and grows. And it's the key ingredient is fun. That is the key ingredient. So I know April have fun this week. She's going up to Joanne's. Joanne, you got to bake me something else because April's making the bread, man. So, hey, we got a couple minutes. Anyone need to add anything or share anything? We have not had our executive Zoom. I don't know why this month they skipped it, but it's supposed to be on Tuesday. And if they announce any special or anything, we'll get right back to you on it. Okay. Whatever it is, but we have not had our monthly call, which is normally around the 5th. Okay. We have not had it this month and it's supposed to be on Tuesday. So, but anyone got anything they want to share or something we might have left out? You can unmute. Are we good?
Okay.
How many people can we get on a week from Monday? Do you realize if everyone on here, we had 32 people on, if everybody on is on with 3 guests, do you know we don't have enough room on the Zoom? Our account is still at 100. I've been daring you to make us go to 200 and you haven't done it yet. Yeah, we pay for it, okay, but we'd go to 200. But do you realize if we're all on and we each have 2 guests, we got 100? Do you know what happens when the 2 guests, which would be about 60 guests, when they see 100 Hollywood squares on the screen? Do you have any idea what happens inside of them? The energy, excitement, and confidence that they experience, that they're in the right place at the right time? That's part of the live thing. They experience, wow, there's 100 people on here, okay? And they don't know if there's 10 guests or 90 guests. All they know is there's 100 people on, and they get really pumped. So we'll have another one of these before we do the Monday, next Sunday night, of course. But let's really have that desire to have the conversations and the messaging back and forth, and share that with your teammates. Okay, those that have the most eyeballs on win. You know that. If you have 3 on and you get 10 teammates who have 3 on, okay, then you have 30 guests seeing an opportunity presentation and you're getting paid on all of it. That's how it works. So, but anyway, if there is anything to share on Tuesday after, we'll get back to you on that. We'll message you all right away. And if we can do anything to help you in between, just reach out. Okay, otherwise we'll talk to you next Sunday. Have a good night. And Fred, enjoy Florida. Stay warm, buddy. It's gonna be
right.
warm.
We are.
Thank you,
We're right
Bob.
looking over the ocean. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
And this
like-
week's gonna be in the 90s, so you're not gonna have any
Yeah, we're using-
cool weather.
Yeah, we're using that orange skin stick.
Yeah, it's called sunscreen, Fred. Have a
I've
good
never
night,
had to use
everybody.
it before.
Bye-bye.
I've never had to use it before.
Take care.
All right, thanks so much. Bye-bye.